Hey, it's Around here. Welcome to a tech tutorial on comparison video on Systeme.io email marketing. This Systeme.io email marketing tutorial is going to take you through the A to Z of every single email marketing feature available in Systeme.io. I'm going to cover the different places you can use emails, the different use cases, different examples, ways of inspiration. And by showing you all these details, it's also going to give you a very detailed comparison so you can actually see how does it compare with MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, Aweber, Kajabi's email system, Zenler email system, and any other email platform you might be currently using, thinking of using. And if you're thinking of switching, this is going to give you a really good comparison to see if the features that Systeme.io offers are actually going to be enough to make it so you're like, okay, yes, I'm ready to make a switch. Now realize that Systeme.io is not just an email marketing platform. It is an all-in-one marketing platform. Email just happens to be a very important component. Now, the email marketing that System has includes newsletters, email campaigns, workflows, individuals send emails to specific opt-in pages, and also sending emails to specific people in your team when somebody makes a purchase or does anything like that. And you can also set up different automation rules. So when somebody goes to an email sequence and then buys, then you stop sending them a certain email. There is also a feature where if you want to do some sort of an affiliate promotion or a promotion of a specific service or product you're promoting at the moment, and you want to give people the option to opt out of that specific promotion, but not from your entire list, you can make it so they can click on one button in the email and they will opt out from that specific promotion, but not the entire list. This is called an unsubscribe funnel. I'm going to show you every single one of these use cases and show you the behind the scene, not only how it works, but also behind the scene of how to set it up. So if that's of interest to you, then keep watching and enjoy this tutorial. Again, also, like many of my free training on my YouTube channel, there's going to be chapters below on this video. So you're not stuck having to watch everything. You can actually look through the chapters and pick the specific segments that you're truly interested in. And I have a virtual assistant team that helps me organize all of that. So you can really find the specific part that you're interested in. All I ask in return is, of course, if you are making a switch to Systeme.io or thinking about it, please do use my affiliate link. I'd greatly appreciate it. I have a special promotion, which is 40% discount on the annual plan, which is $197 a year. You'll see the link somewhere below this video. And I also offer a bonus, which is a website DIY course for Systeme.io. And also, if you're already a Systeme.io user and you're just here to learn, that's okay too. I would greatly appreciate if you simply like this video, leave a comment with any question or feedback or thoughts. If you got value, leave the word value. And of course, if you're not new to this channel, please do subscribe. With that said, let's dive right in and I'm going to take you through everything you need to know about email marketing with Systeme.io. The first thing I want to show you is strictly using the traditional email features and functions that you are probably familiar with. One of them being newsletter or broadcast, depending on what software you're using, that's the name, which is basically email that you send in real time, i.e. you are deciding, hey, I want to email my list about something that happened this week or a promotion I'm doing, and you send an email. The second type of email is known in System as campaign, which is also known as email autoresponder, which is more of a sequence, whether it's a nurturing sequence. So when somebody downloads your lead magnet, you will send them a series of 5 or 7 emails to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, things along these lines. Now, I'll take you through briefly where you will find that. So under emails, you have newsletters, which is where you would send the one-off live emails. And you would use these features to either let people know about a promotion you're doing or just an update or tell them a story or whatever. And when you send the email, you can also schedule the email if you want to schedule something to a few days from now. So that's that one feature. Now, the next feature is campaigns, and that one is more of an email sequence. Now, for example, in my case, I have what's called a soap opera email sequence, which is just a nurturing sequence. So when somebody joins my email list, they get email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, email 5, and that's the email sequence, basically. So those are the core features that you are probably familiar, and that's where you would create those. Now, we're going to dive into the granular features, such as rules, workflows, automations, and things like that, which are way more detailed, and it's kind of gonna get a little bit more advanced as this video goes on. The next example I'm going to share with you is using workflows in email marketing with systeme.io, and I'm going to show you a very specific use case where I'm using that. So you can see right here that I have a number of funnels. So number one, I have landingpagechallenge.com, and if people register right here or on the exit pop-up, what happens is they get access to this checklist and also an automated email sequence to follow up on their progress of this checklist, and also to sell them one of my paid products, basically, which is landing page in a day course or the landing page challenge done for you version. Now you'll notice the done for you version, people typically will only see that after they actually subscribe, so there's no exit pop-up for this. However, if people go to this page, which is the landing page in a day course, they may not have subscribed, and therefore there's an exit pop-up sending them back to the checklist. Now inside the checklist there is one step also, if you keep scrolling a little bit, and you'll notice that there's a formula that I talk about how to set things up, and it includes here having a product mockup. Now the product mockup is this particular lead magnet, and basically I'm sending people from the checklist, which people only get because they're already subscribed, to this page, and therefore they end up subscribing to something else. Now if they arrive to this page from the checklist, I don't want to subscribe them to the email sequence that this puts them into, because they're already in the landing page challenge email sequence. However, this particular lead magnet page, people get to this page also from one of my videos on my YouTube channel as well. So therefore, I want them basically to be sent to one email sequence, which is this one, if they arrive directly from my YouTube channel. But I don't want them to go to this email sequence. I want them to remain on the existing email sequence of the landing page challenge if they arrive to this page from the checklist. So this is the distinction. Now let me show you how you set it up. So you see here under workflows, I have created a workflow where basically when a tag is added, which is the product mockup exit pop-up, send them the email with the template, because that's what I promised, number one. Okay. The second thing is I ask them, and this is, notice that there's an option here to make a decision, split the path based on the person's segment criteria. So the question is, after I send this email, is the person tagged with the landing page checklist? If the answer is no, i.e. they didn't come from the checklist, then I subscribe them to the email sequence, which is this email sequence with the sales page template, website preparation checklist, and a website technology glossary. And you will notice that this particular email sequence is 7 emails as well at the time of recording. Okay, so basically, if they are not already in my landing page challenge checklist, yes, subscribe them to this. Now, assuming they are not tagged, so if they're not tagged with the checklist, subscribe them. If they are tagged, meaning they're already in the landing page challenge, I wait for 1 hour and then I send them an email, and it's just one email, which is basically this one. Okay, but also you will notice here that the email in this sequence says, hey, first name, great to see you here, the 3 resources, blah blah blah. Okay, now the difference is with this email is I customized it a little bit, and I'll show you what I wrote. I basically say something a little bit different to kind of personalize it, and I say, hey, first name, almost forgot, because remember I sent him an email an hour ago, almost forgot, the 3 resources you requested are here, and then I give them the different resources basically. So therefore I'm still fulfilling the promise of the exit pop-up on this page, so they still get my freebies that I promised, but I don't subscribe them to a new email sequence that distracts them from the landing page challenge, because I want to keep them focused on the landing page challenge and the landing page challenge checklist. And that is because in the landing page challenge checklist, they are already subscribed. There's already an email sequence. Right now there's only 2. There's going to be more, but you get the idea. I don't want to have them in 2 different sequences at the same time. And that's why I have this decision-based workflow basically. So that's using email marketing with regards to workflows. Now, another thing that I want to make note is, I know this is a little bit complicated, a little bit advanced. I want to make it very clear This is something that I'm optimizing as I grow. You would notice that previously, this particular funnel, the product mockup squeeze page, I previously sent them the email, added them to a campaign, and added a tag. Now, because, and this is all automated, but I didn't have the customization of making a decision. If they are this, send them that. If they're this, send them this. So therefore now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete what I previously had, which is this email and this campaign, and I'm simply going to add the tag. That's all I'm going to do, because when I add the tag, that's when this workflow that I just created is going to take place. So if you want to higher customization options, you would use this feature of workflows versus just using automation rules at the beginning. Now, using the automation rules is totally fine. Like, I'm not saying don't use it. I've got tutorials to use that. If you're just getting started, this is a good one to use. But as you start to scale, you can start to see where you can optimize your funnel as well. The next type of automation I'm going to show you is a one-click unsubscribe to multiple campaigns, where basically if somebody doesn't want to be part of any of my automations and only want to be on any of my newsletters, basically, that they could click one link in any of my emails, and that way I can remove them from any automations they're in, and they're just going to get it an email whenever I do a standard promotion, basically, or a standard like newsletter update. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to create a workflow, and I'm going to call this one-click unsubscribe from campaigns, and it's going to be generic campaigns. Now, I'm going to, first of all, to do this properly, I need to create a tag for that. So to do that, I'm going to hover over contacts, click on tags, and I'm going to call this unsubscribe all campaigns. Click on create, unsubscribe all campaigns. And that means specifically email sequences, basically. So let me just change that so it's a little clearer for me even. All email sequences. Click on save. Okay, it's got to be 32 characters. All sequences. Okay, so now I'm going to click here, and I'm going to choose the tag. And when the tag is added, unsubscribe all sequences, create. And then basically when this tag gets added, you're going to unsubscribe from the website creation masterclass, because I've got a few emails on that. It's going to unsubscribe from my landing page in a day cart abandonment. It's going to unsubscribe from this one. This is a very long one. Unsubscribe from the soap opera nurturing sequence, and unsubscribe from my landing page challenge. This one. I'm just going to look to see if there's any other campaigns which are long. So this one, don't have to worry about that. These are, you don't have to worry about which names it is, I'm just checking. Okay, the YouTube SEO funnel and the link redirect. Okay, so I'm going to add more. YouTube. Cool. So now I'm going to need to activate that. And then I'm going to go and create a page for this. So to do that, I'm going to click on Add Step. And I'm going to call this Unsubscribe All Email Campaigns. And then it's going to be Opt-in Thank You. See, now it's going to create it here. I can now choose a page. Okay, so I've created the unsubscribe page from any email sequences. And I did it in a way because this is going to appear in pretty much every email sequence. So a lot of people are going to see this, and therefore it's important to invest a bit of time in this page. So a nice friendly face. I want them to follow me on social as well. So Instagram and YouTube, that's the main socials that I use. I also have a little call to action where it can go to the Beginner's Guide to Email Marketing, because I tell them this page is part of the unsubscribe funnel, as part of this strategy. So this is another way to actually upsell them. This sends them to Amazon. Now, technically, it doesn't have to send them to Amazon. I can actually set it up so this is also goes to a link that I have in my main website. I don't have to do it to Amazon, but for right now, I'll just do it to Amazon. And then this one is a systeme.io link. So there is kind of a little bit, even though they unsubscribe, there's a bit of an upsell opportunity here, because if somebody sees this, they may be like, hey, that's cool. I like this, how we set it up. I would love to learn how to do it as well, or something like that. And, this could definitely lead into other opportunities. So even though somebody technically is unsubscribing, there is really an opportunity that you don't want to miss out, basically, is my point here. Okay. So now I'm going to click on Save Changes, and I'm going to exit from this page. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the tags. If somebody ends up on this page, I'm going to click on Automation Rules. I'm going to add a rule. I'm going to click on Page Visited. And I'm going to basically say Add Tag. And again, unsubscribe, all sequences, save rule. So when somebody lands on this, it will automatically unsubscribe them from all my sequences. Now I'm going to grab this link, and I'm going to go to campaigns, because I've already created the automation. And now I'm going to have to do this one by one to all the campaigns. So here's an example. If I go to landing page challenge, and I'm going to click on simple landing page structure that works, and I'm going to click on the editor, I'm going to basically create a statement that says, do you feel like you're getting too many emails from me? Click here to unsubscribe from any automated campaigns, although you'll but still receive my general newsletters. Like so. Click on Save. And I'll have to think about the wording. Maybe the wording will be a little bit different. Okay, I changed the sequence a little bit. Save changes. I'll make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Cool. Save changes. Exit. And now I'm gonna need to add this PPS or PS to other email campaigns, basically. Okay, so now I'm adding it into different emails as well. And that way it's going to basically give people an option to unsubscribe from things, so they're not getting bombarded with my emails, because I have had that scenario where I end up sending way too many emails and I can't really control that. So I need to just make sure that I protect the user experience by adding this option at the bottom. Okay, so this one now, one by one. So I'll go through and add this to every single email campaign, basically, and every automated sequence. That way people can, I can protect the user experience, basically. But remember, I'm still sending people to that upsell page. So, it's not so bad, really, because I do have the opportunity for them to do that. And obviously, I got to stay consistent with my email marketing regardless. So that's kind of how that works. And yeah, hope you got value from this particular little segment and implement that in your own business as well. Of course, it goes without saying, if you want a copy of the template I just created, which is a really nice template, then this is included in the templates and coaching membership. This is an example of one page that I've created, the one you just saw a second ago. There is also this one, which is obviously a template. You can tweak that. And then there is also this one, which is also a generic one, which I can customize. And any others will all be included in the templates and coaching membership. The next use case I'm going to show you is setting up an unsubscribe funnel. Now, what that means is that I have a funnel that I'm creating, and each individual page on that funnel is going to indicate that somebody is unsubscribed from a specific list of some sort. What I mean by that is, if I want to have in an email that somebody can click on a link and it will no longer send them emails for a specific campaign or a specific promotion, then it will do that, but it will not unsubscribe them from the entire list. Here's an example. I am about to start a promotion to this online course bundle. Now, this affiliate promotion, some people in my audience may not be interested in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an unsubscribe page for this specific thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all download this image, and I'm going to go here to my unsubscribe funnel. So I'm going to click on add new step, and I'm going to call this courses we love unsubscribe. One click, and I'm going to choose, in this case, opt-in thank you. I'm going to click on save, and now I'm going to label this. First I'll choose one of these. So I'll just choose a blank one because I like to just choose a blank one. Select. Now I'm going to give this a name. Courses we love promotion unsubscribe. Give it some names, some random numbers. Click on save, and now I'm going to create the page. Now the page is simply going to say, thanks, you've been unsubscribed from this campaign, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to just do exactly that. You have been unsubscribed from the Courses We Love affiliate campaign. No hard feelings. I only want to email you things you are interested in. In case you aren't already, feel free to join my .com truths Facebook group, and then I will link it. Now I actually have a domain name for that, so .com truths group.com. Open in a new window, save, and then on these images I'm just going to delete them because I don't really need those. So I can just delete what's here, delete all of that. Now I'm going to just remove the systeme.io logo as well. This content box looks good, actually. I like it. I like how it looks. So now that I've got the page ready, I can go ahead and exit from this page. Now, one thing I'll just make sure is all the settings is done. Yeah, all good. I'm going to exit from this page, and I'm going to set up a promotional email, and I'll show you how to set it up. So before I do that, I have to remove the automation rules basically and create it. So I'm going to go to tags, and the tag I'm going to create is Courses We Love bundle basically. So Courses We Love unsubscribe. That's the tag. I'll call it one click. Now that I've created it, I can go to automation rules, and when a page is visited, I'm going to add an action, add a tag, and Courses We Love unsubscribe. Save a rule. So now when somebody visits this page, it will automatically unsubscribe them basically from this one campaign. Now I'm going to click on this page, and I'm going to go to newsletters. So click on this URL. I'm going to go to newsletters. I'm going to create a newsletter. Now remember, this is going to be sent on the 17th of April. So Courses We Love, and I'm going to click to write the email. Now I'm going to write the email just to show you. I'm going to obviously tweak it later. Just do a classic editor just for the sake of demonstration. Make it faster. I'm going to say, hey, first name. This bundle is amazing, blah, blah, blah. Give some content on the affiliate promotion. Add the sales page, etc. P.S. If you don't want to hear about this Courses We Love promotion, you can stop receiving emails about this with one click. And then highlight it, paste the URL, and that's that. Okay? Now, I'm gonna save this, And all that will happen is if somebody clicks on this, it will automatically tag them based on what I did here, and they will no longer receive emails for that. Now, for them to no longer receive emails for that, of course, what I need to do is when I send the email next, like when I'm going to do the next promotion the day after or whatever, I'm going to need to see here the exclude the following tags. And you see where I have this we love bundle, this one. I'm going to need to uncheck. I'm going to need to check that on the exclude. So then anybody that clicked on it and is tagged is not going to receive this email. That's how you're going to filter people receiving an email or promotion something they're not interested in. Now, to make my life easier on this tag, I'm actually going to change the tag as well, because I don't want to keep searching for the exact right word. So I'm going to make my life easier, and I'm going to change the sequence of the name, right? And I'm going to call this unsubscribe courses we love. Okay. Now, this is that way. If I am doing the same thing with the emails next time, because I might have a few of these, I might do another promotion for something else. I might do it for the landing page challenge, things along these lines. I can always just scroll to the unsubscribe ones, because if you look at the newsletters, notice that on the newsletters, I always have it by letters. So you could see here on the tags, it's all by letters. So I could just scroll to the U and see what my options. I could see, okay, unsubscribe from blah, 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 blah. And it's instead of me remembering, oh, what was the campaign? Because otherwise you'll forget. So make the unsubscribe link or the tag with the word unsubscribe first, or the word stop. That's okay too. Whatever word is, you're going to remember. Okay. So that's how you do a one-click unsubscribe in your email without them unsubscribing from the entire email, your entire email list. So the next workflow I want to share with you is my .com Truths blog. Now, to give you a bit of context, I have an email list and I send high quality emails to my email list. Sometimes I send promotional emails, I sell, that's what an email list is for. But sometimes I take the time to really document a very extensive training on some sort of piece of an online business. For example, I've got a blog on YouTube. I've got a blog on finding customers. I've got a blog on course creation. I've got a blog on launching a membership site, things along these lines. So there's different pillars, basically, and that's kind of the strategy that I have. Now, I did not want to rewrite the same newsletter over and over. And I wanted to basically take this high quality newsletter, because that newsletter gets sent one time, and document it into an evergreen content as a blog, which creates good SEO, search engine optimization for me. Now, in order to get access to this blog, people need to enter their name and email. However, there are also situations where somebody might be reading my blogs, and when they do, they might decide to share it as it is. So I'll show you an example. This is the actual blog page, okay, the landing page for the blog. People join, and they get access to everything that I offer here. Now, in terms of the blog, once they enter their name and email, they end up here, and you could see all the different blog posts right here. Now, if they end up clicking on any of them, this is an example, and they decide to share this, then what happens is that I don't actually get the person's email address, i.e. the person that it was shared to. I don't get their email address per se. So what I have is I do have an exit pop-up as well. So if somebody does end up here, they end up joining. Now, because there is an exit pop-up, there is a possibility that somebody is actually reading this, and they're actually already a subscriber. So here is my workflow for the blog newsletter. So when they sign up to one of my blogs from the exit pop-up or whatever, I apply the tag DCT Blog Newsletter Subscriber. Then I send them a welcome to my newsletter email, and you can see here, choose and edit, so you can see what it looks like. And what I write is as follows. Hey there, welcome to my newsletter. In case we haven't met, my name is Ram Kai, I have nothing to sell you in terms of high ticket and stuff like that. You can click here for the blog list. You can listen to the private podcast, and here's some additional gift. If you can reply and let me know. Okay, so that's that. Now, another thing that I have is it's important for me to make sure, because on the automation, they're going to be receiving additional emails when they get added to the sequence. Now, when they subscribe to this blog, they may or may not already be on my email list and are already been through the nurturing sequence. Now, when this happens, I want to avoid sending people too many emails as well. So I have a one-click unsubscribe from the different sequences that I have. And in order to not have to go and find a link every time for people to unsubscribe with the one click, I have an automation set up to do that with text delays. So what I do is I click on /1 click, and you see this whole thing. PS, do you feel like you're getting too many emails from me? Stay subscribed to my general newsletter, but remove yourself from my current automated campaigns you're receiving by clicking this link. And then this link will take them, if you click on it, open it up, you'll see it's gonna basically click to unsubscribe from email campaigns, and it's gonna take them through my unsubscribe funnel, basically, which you can have a read and see how that all works. This basically avoids the situation where somebody's already on my list, they've already seen my nurturing sequence, and I'm gonna get it again, basically. Now also, I have, because on the workflow, you will notice that they get added to my soap opera email sequence, the nurturing sequence. So on my first email and so on, I have also, if you scroll all the way to the very bottom, I've already added that thing right here, which is the exact same thing. Now notice that this email is very, very extensive because that's my first email subscriber, because if my blog gets shared, I want to obviously introduce myself and do a really good job to tell them about who I am and build that relationship right out the gate. So how did you end up on the list? I give them a whole bunch of freebies. What is it that I do again? Give them testimonials and social proof. Who am I and what do I do and stuff like that. A little bit about my story. Tell them about affiliate marketing. What is my marketing services? Tell them about how I serve people, what they can expect, and also what type of freebies I'm giving or things along these lines. I tell them to resubscribe, to save the email address and the contact, and then ask them to let me know if these pain points resonate with them, and let me know about who they are and so on. If somebody reads this entire email, they're definitely typically very, very engaged, right? So this is a very important email that I really, 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 really want to make sure people see. So now, how do I make sure that people see it? So notice that it gets sent the day after they subscribe to the blog, and then they get sent another email an hour later after this. And it's a very short email. I sent you an email an hour ago with a couple of freebies. In case you haven't seen it, can you do me a tiny favor and dig it out? Okay. Now, this particular email is really important because it's so short. There's no links and stuff like that. It really looks like I've literally sat there and wrote it, right? So I get a lot of people responding to this saying, yep, I got the email. It was really long, but I'll get back to it, or something like that. So this is just a really good way to engage. And I talk about that a little bit in my free PDF as well. 9 email marketing tips to help with open rates, deliverability, and sales, which you can go to around.link/email tips to learn about as well. So this is kind of the email sequence. But again, I don't want them to have to go through that sequence if they don't want to. So there's always that option at the very bottom of the email where if they feel like they're getting too many emails, they have the one-click unsubscribe thing right here, basically. And I can choose to do it and not do it by simply adding one click, which is something I set up through text delays. This brings me to the next aspect, which is really important to understand. And this is specifically applicable if you have multiple lead magnets, multiple places where people can subscribe and get some sort of freebie from you and enter your newsletter, your email list, and so on. And this is why this soap opera email sequence, the nurturing sequence that I have, always gets sent a day after I add them to this sequence. It doesn't get sent immediately. It gets sent after, a day after. And the reason is it doesn't matter which lead magnet somebody downloads from me. It doesn't matter which freebie they come from, pretty much. They will always end up in the same sequence. Now, the first email is going to be different because if they entered from somewhere else, I want them to be notified, okay, thanks, you came from blah, and give them something specific. But then the day after, when the email sequence starts, it's the exact same nurturing sequence. That way I don't create multiple email sequences. I just have one key one that has done really well for me. It's been tested. I get customers from it. People engage with it. And that's all working really well. So let me show you what I mean. So I have a funnel in Systeme.io where I have basically different embed forms. So for example, notice that this one says a run funnels pop-up. Okay. Now, if you go and actually look at this page, this is a runfunnels.com/software. And you'll notice that it says, wait, don't leave empty-handed, enter your email here. Okay, this is a pop-up. And this pop-up, this little code or this little input form is basically from that embed part of this. And the automation, notice the automation rules. It tags them correctly, so I know where they came from. So it tags them from the embed pop-up. It adds them to the email sequence. So this gets sent a day after. And the first email that they receive says this, hey, because there's no email address. I only get their email, not their name. So I don't have a hey first name. Hey, hope you're doing well. I saw you visited the Run Funnels website and entered your email just before leaving. I appreciate it. In case you wanted to go back to the relevant pages you were checking out, here are the 2 links. And because there's really 2 links that are important. And then I show them a picture so they see where they came from, and then I give them their freebies. And then at the end, I tell them to reply and let me know and stuff like that. Okay? So, and then I say, stay tuned for tomorrow's email. And that's when they get added to the sequence. So this is the customizable initial welcome email from runfunnels.com. Now, if they come from runbukai.com, any of my pages, then I'll show you how that looks like. The email is different. So I say instead, you came from visiting runbukai.com, and I'll show you what the email says for that one. I say, hey, first name, hope you're doing well. You're getting this email because you visited my website, runbukai.com. Thanks for entering your email. I appreciate it. You were promised to get some free gifts here and to deliver, blah, blah, blah. And I asked them, how did we connect, basically? Okay. Now, or how did you find me? A little customization. Okay. Now, this is important because I'll show you another example. If somebody finds me through this blog, which is my membership blog, because this gets found on Google. Like if you were to go to Google right now and search for the membership experience review, Stu McLaren, let's say. I probably misspelled his name, but anyway. If you actually look, you'll probably find my blogs is somewhere. First of all, there's my video, and then there's my blog, okay? So people find me on Google, basically. And that's how they end up, if they try to leave, like they can read through this page or whatever, but then if they try to leave, then there is the exit pop-up, basically, as you can see right here. And this is where I want to trigger this one. Now, because I have this particular pop-up on multiple blog posts, I don't say you came from X blog. I don't worry about that, and that's good enough. Now, another thing that's important to know is no matter where they came from, what I have is I have a generic thank you page, which basically thanks them for joining my email list, welcoming them, letting them know to check the email. And then I have the different important links that they may have come from. For example, when you're in the middle of reading my blogs, click here. If you're interested in my tech support, click here. If you want to work with me one-on-one, click here. If you wanted to get software consultation, click here. And I give them a little bit of info about testimonials and stuff like that. And this generic thank you page is the same thank you page that they come to, no matter if they subscribe to my ebook, if they have to enter my exit pop-up, if they end up subscribing because they're in the middle of reading a blog, or any of these options. That way, their funnel kind of all stays in the same process, basically. And you know, the video is generic. It doesn't say thanks for downloading this, but it's just generic, basically. So that's kind of how that funnel works. And this is really important, you know, to kind of give you a bit of a recap, right? Let's say I got 5 lead magnets or 5 different places people can enter their name and email. No matter which one they come, I send them an email that is personalized to that particular thing. Then the next day, they get added to the same email sequence that brings them up to speed about who I am, what I do, and how I serve people, which is the soap opera or nurturing email sequence. So that's kind of the process and how I have that set up. So that's applicable if you have multiple lead magnets. In the next segment, I'm going to show you how to temporarily create a workflow, which is only going to work one time. And you will set up a process where you're basically migrating an email list from another platform and moving them over to Systeme.io, and how that process works in order to re-engage people. So I'm going to do a demonstration where I have a free PDF, which if you go to run.link/email tips, it's 9 email marketing tips to help with open rates, deliverability, and sales. Now I've just updated that PDF, and I have at least 50 people that have previously downloaded that from previously using Kajabi. And now that I'm in Systeme.io, I've updated the funnel, I've updated the opt-in page and all that stuff. Now, these people have already subscribed and I want to send them the PDF again. However, I also don't want to send it to them kind of unsolicited, if that makes sense, or add them to a sequence in an unsolicited fashion and so on. So this is me creating a workflow where I'm migrating that email list from one platform to another and triggering that sequence so it sends them into that funnel without having to opt in again. And all they got to do is click one link in the email in order to opt in again, basically. So let me show you how that works. So the first step is you want to go to workflows, and I'm going to click on create. Now here I'm going to call this temp list migration 9 email tips. Let's just say, right? Just for the sake of demonstration. It doesn't really matter the name because I'm going to delete it shortly anyway. Now I'm going to click here. Now one thing that I do need to do is I need to create a tag specifically for these individuals. So now I'm under tags. I'm going to click here and I'm going to call this email tips 9 email tips temp. Let's just say, because it's a temporary tag, and I'll delete it afterwards. Basically, I'm just doing it to upload that particular email to the list. So now I'm going to click on workflow, create the trigger, click on tag, search for the word tag, temp, sorry. Let me refresh this. Tag added, temp. There you go, 9 email tips temp, lead, which I'm going to give it a better name. Kajabi import. Notice that after I refresh, the tag will automatically update with the name as well. Now I'm going to click on add action, send him an email, create a new one. Save and edit. That's the subject line. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the email. Hey, first name. You are getting this email as you have previously downloaded the 9 email marketing tips to help with open rates, deliverability, and sales PDF. I have recently updated that PDF and wanted to check in case you are interested in receiving it again, the updated version. No need to resubscribe. Simply click here and you'll automatically be sent that PDF. You downloaded it from my Kajabi website, which I have slowly migrated away from. Since I am now using systeme.io, I am sending you this email from this new email provider. If you want that PDF again, simply click here. Okay, now I'm going to now grab that. Now note basically that it's going to be this thanks page. Notice that I set up, I'm going to copy the URL and set up, notice the automation rules. Page visited. So if they've visited this page, it's going to tag them as that PDF and it's going to send them that email right away. I didn't want to randomly email it to you in case it is of no interest anymore, as you may have requested it ages ago. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this, or you highlight it and then click on the URL, paste in this link. Now I can make this bigger as well. Cool. Now we've got this workflow set up. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on exit. And this is also good, even though they are technically subscribed. It's good to get them to resubscribe basically in the new platform. And also it's good to get them to click a link in the email because that kind of shows engagement. So that's another little reason why I'm doing it. So let's change the name of the title so it's not confusing. So instead of, I'll call it Kajabi Migration 9 Email Tips PDF. Okay. Now I'm going to go to contacts, import contacts, choose the CSV. This is the CSV. Click on open. I'm not going to select the campaign However, I am going to add the correct list. So Java migration. So I'm going to click on 9 email tips, and then you'll notice here that first name, last name, and email. Those are the main ones. I don't really do anything else. All the other details doesn't really matter. Scroll down and click on import. Importing contacts, this might take a few minutes. If you scroll all the way down, you'll notice that it says 50, no invalid rows. I'm going to refresh, and all the 50 have now been imported, basically. Okay, so that's been done. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go to one of them. Here's what's good, is you've got some people who've already subscribed, unsubscribed, so therefore even when I upload them again, it doesn't resubscribe them, which is actually very, very good. Now, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to click on one of them, and then you'll notice that one of the emails was sent right away, and that's new email marketing tips PDF. Do you want it? Okay, so that email has now been sent. You don't see any open, but once this turns into this, it means that it's been opened. So that's just another use case of importing an email list that you may have migrated from another platform over to a system and setting it up so there's an automatic trigger and automation to let them know, hey, I've done the migration, curious to know if you're still interested, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing is this is the perfect opportunity to actually, if you're moving an email list from one platform to another, this is the perfect opportunity to actually do the unsubscribe email strategy, which, in case you don't know what that is, in my templates and coaching membership, I've got a really good template that will show you how to do that. It's essentially a way where you're telling people, hey, I've moved from another platform and I want you to unsubscribe in case you don't want to hear from me. But before you do, let me tell you a little bit about what it is that I offer. And then you give them a whole spiel about your values, what your mission is, how you serve people, your story, things along these lines. And it kind of gets them re-engaged, like, okay, yeah, I actually really want to hear from this person. Or they might say, I don't want to hear from this person again. And also when you tell people to unsubscribe, it kind of creates a bit of an opposite effect. So whenever I've done that, I've had a really good engagement, and I've used my template for this strategy in my templates and coaching membership, which is included as well. So I just wanted to share this with you in terms of the email migration. It's another important use case on using workflows and tags and so on. So hope you get some value from this one segment as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to set up. So when somebody clicks a button on your email, it will automatically trigger an email sequence or a tag of some sort, which means that your existing subscribers, you can actually send them to a specific funnel without them having to resubscribe. So let me show you how that works. So in my case, I'm just doing a test demo to show you. And you see here that on the thank you page of this one, I set up automation rules. And the automation rule is a rule called page visited. So when somebody visited the page only, then they get added with this tag, which is a new PDF that I've written, and this email gets triggered. And I'll show you the email. Let's see what gets sent. So you can see this is the email, click here, and this is all the attachment basically, okay? So this is what's going to get sent. Now, here's the thing. I have now grabbed this URL right here, and I send it as an email. Now in the email, I'm just doing this as a test to show you. I sent it to, I added a tag called test, which is just my email address. And I'm gonna take you to that specific email address, which is this one. And you will notice that this tag, 9 email tips PDF lead, is not currently tagged. Now, when somebody lands on this page and they have to be subscribed, then they get tagged. So let's see if that's going to work. So first of all, I'm going to go to the email, and you can see it right here. I've emailed myself, 1-click 9-step freebie, test only. So now, if I was to click on this, it should automatically take me to the thank you page. That's number 1, which is this one. Thanks for requesting the PDF. It's on the way to your inbox. Please go to your inbox. It will send from blah. This is the subject line. By the way, join the community. Okay, so that's that. Now, if I was to go back to this account, now right now I need to refresh this. Now notice here that the latest email is this one, and the new email is going to need to trigger as well at the same time for this automation to show that it's working. So then now you see that this tag got added automatically, and this email got triggered, your PDF 9 email marketing tips. Now you'll notice if you hover over here, you see this envelope is closed. Now I'm gonna go back to the email. And by the way, if you're doing a test, this is important. If you're doing a test, make sure you right click and open in an incognito window. Only then it will trigger, basically. So anyway, just something that I learned just doing this now. Now let's go back to the email. You'll notice here is the ebook, your PDF 9 email marketing tips, blah, blah, blah. Click here to read it right away, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is how you basically trigger it, which is a really, really cool little hack where you could do the one-click resubscribe to a specific funnel or sequence or however you want to set things up. Now I'd like to draw your attention to something important. If you actually look at this thank you page, this is the tag and one email. However, if I have somebody brand new subscribe to this funnel, you will notice that I actually have not just the tag, but I have the tag, the email, and a campaign gets added. This is where you can differentiate if somebody is new to your email list and subscribes versus somebody who's already existing on your email list and you just want to send them something new. And this is a good way to basically take your warm audience and drive them into a new funnel that you may have built, which didn't exist before, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I've got a new funnel set up to sell my beginner's guide to email marketing, and I want to send existing people who have already downloaded that PDF and say, hey, the PDF has been updated. And that way they can click on that link in the email. It will automatically send them to the thank you page, and it will send them straight into the funnel. So this is where you can also differentiate in terms of the strategy. This next segment of the email marketing feature in Systeme.io is really good if you want to notify a team member of a certain purchase, so they can action something or follow up or anything along these lines. Maybe you have a team member as a virtual assistant, maybe you got salespeople. It all is up to you how you want to notify people based on actions that occur. So in the use case that I'm about to show you, I have a specific upsell in my funnels, which people can actually buy a one-on-one session with my virtual assistant to help them set up a bunch of techie stuff. So connecting a domain name, setting up Stripe, connecting the payment integration with Systeme or Kajabi or whatever, and also setting up a professional email address. So this is all tedious stuff which you can learn more about if you go to dcthosting.com. Now here's the issue. When somebody makes that purchase, then I want to automate it. So as soon as that person makes the purchase, the information flows automatically to my virtual assistant with an email and let them know, hey, this person, and get the email address, has just purchased ABC. Please follow up so you can go and action it. This is exactly the automation I have set up. So this is a funnel that I have, and this is my landing page in a day online course funnel. And you can see here, one of the upsell is a tech setup session. Once somebody makes a purchase, there is a tag which gets added, which is 101 tech session DWY buyer. Now, as soon as that tag gets added after the purchase, I have here Peter tech setup session trigger. Peter is my virtual assistant. Okay, and you could see the workflow automatically happens that as soon as they get tagged, then I send an email to the customer immediately. Let me show you that email. Hey, first name, congratulations on the tech setup. Here's what you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And click here to book a session as well. And this particular link is sending them to the thank you page on how to get started. Now, the way that I have it set up is a little bit more full on, okay? And basically it takes them to this link where they're gonna get extreme instructions on what to do. So first of all, the thank you video. There is instructions on what to do in advance. And also it tells them a little bit about my email hosting service. And then it gives them a form to fill out, a questionnaire where they fill out a bunch of questions to basically give some prediction to my virtual assistant to let them know, hey, this is the information that needs to occur and this is what I'm trying to get done and stuff like that. And once they fill out this questionnaire, it then automatically redirects people to the calendar link for my virtual assistant. The form then automatically gets added to this section of new customers, and there's an entire checklist that gets automatically generated to my virtual assistant to basically follow and execute, basically. If you want to learn more about this whole workflow, this is a completely different topic to this particular training video. Leave a comment with the word blue if you want to learn more about that, because blue is the project management that I use to do all of this. just leave a comment below and let me know if that's something of interest to you. Now, this email gets sent, and I'm just going to save this and get out of it. This gets sent to the customer first, just by having the tag trigger. But also, I need Peter, my virtual assistant, to know about it. So I have this email set up where I tell Peter, hey, this person just paid for this service. Please follow up with them. And you can see here, letting them know who signed up. And also, Peter can automatically see their first name and also their email address. So it's all automatically get done. And that's the whole process, basically. So that way, number one, Peter gets the option to follow up because I want him to be proactive with following up with my customers. And also, it sends an email to the customer to tell them what to do next. So it's all kind of automated. And when Peter does the work, get it done, and then I'm hands off on the whole thing because he takes care of the whole thing for me and moves them through the pipeline in the project management of Blue. So anyway, I've got a whole process for that particular fulfillment CRM because it goes to questionnaire, to fulfillment, to follow up after fulfillment for whatever upsell, review collection, things like that. So that's a whole different topic. But I did want to show you the value of being able to inform a team member when somebody actually signs up to something, whether you want to let them know of a sale they made or a customer they need to serve. The next workflow that I'm going to show you in Systeme.io is set up specifically for people who may cancel my tech support membership. So they joined my tech support membership and they decided to cancel for whatever reason. And they either are gone to their back office and cancel it on their own, or they sent me an email to ask me to cancel the membership. Now, assuming they have requested me to cancel the membership on email and not do it on their own, then this is what happens. This is the request. And then what I need to do is I need to add the tag churn DCT in the back office. Now you'll see the features. It's all set up under workflows, right? So that's where you see it. And this is what it actually looks like in the Systeme.io backend. Now I'm going to show you what it actually means. So I add this tag, and by adding this tag, it immediately triggers the following actions. 1, 2, 3. Action number 1 is it removes the tag that designates them as somebody who is in my tech support paid membership. Because if I send future newsletter emails for members only, I don't want them to receive it. So this is the first action that happens. So when this tag gets added, these tags gets removed. Now there's other tags, but that's not really relevant for you. That's just because of things that happen in my back office, but it's not really relevant. The point is that it creates that one action to remove the tag, so it segments them as no longer a paying member. And then the second action is an email gets automatically sent to my virtual assistant to let them know that that person canceled and to no longer continue to serve them, because obviously if they do, it's free service and I don't want to do that, obviously, because they're no longer paying. So this email is what gets sent. The third action that gets triggered is an email to the member themselves. And they're receiving an email saying, thank you so much for being in the membership for the time you were. Please tell me where you're at in your business so I can give you something for free as a thank you for being in the membership, and giving them basically a parting gift. Now, if you wanted to see the email that I sent, I actually share the template of that email in my templates and coaching membership. If you go to runtemplates.com, that's where I actually include this particular email template of what I actually say. So that is a membership churn workflow. And this is also known as a membership offboarding process. You can include other automations, like in that email, you can thank them, you can ask them for a review, you can ask them for feedback, you can send them a survey to find out why they canceled, things along these lines. For the topic of this particular workflow and email marketing, we're going to leave it at that. That's the workflow that I have set up, and these are the features. So you would create the different tags under the tags, basically under contacts. You would create the workflows, which is this one, and then you would basically connect the pieces and write the email directly from the workflow. Now, assuming that they canceled automatically in the back office themselves, then you would set it up under automation rules. So when they are paying for the membership, there is obviously an open cart or an order form. And in there, you can trigger different automation rules. So one of the automation rules can be sale canceled. So when they cancel, you do this, which is obviously add this particular tag, and you would set that up. So you will see here the order form of the membership. Under automation rules, you click on add a rule, and then sale canceled occurs when a subscription is canceled or a one-time payment is refunded. And when you click on it, you see that I added a tag, churn DCT. And once that tag gets added, see add a tag, as soon as that gets added, it will automatically trigger action 1, 2, and 3 immediately based on this workflow. I don't have to set anything up in here. I simply add the tag and everything else happens through automation and workflow. So hope you got value from this entire training. I know this wasn't short, but I've covered every single thing that I could possibly think of. If there's something that you feel that I've missed, please leave a comment to let me know. Any specific questions you have, maybe specific use cases. I'd love to know so I can continue to add more value, make sure these tutorials are really comprehensive and complete. If you know anybody that might find this valuable, please share it with them. I want to make sure that this reaches as many people as possible. And lastly, I know that we didn't talk too much about how to write an email necessarily, or strategy about writing an email, or how to create the content, or any of these things. To explain all of that, I actually have a book on Amazon. You're welcome to check it out. It's called Beginner's Guide to Email Marketing. You can buy it from Amazon. You can buy it directly from my website. Again, I'm going to leave the link somewhere below this video so you can check it out. Hope you enjoyed this free training. If there's any other free training you'd like me to create, please let me know. I've got a whole playlist of free training on this channel, and I'd love to create more of those upon your request. That's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll speak to you soon.